All right, Shalom. First and foremost, gotta give all praises and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Wa'Rakam. We are indeed the Hebrew Israelites. Come out here week in and week out to prophesy His kingdom. Okay, as always as we do. And to wake up our people, those that are so-called Negro and Latino Native American descent, who are in fact indeed the Israelites, and also those that are scattered abroad that may not look like this people. Okay? So somebody give me a scripture.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse starting at 1 says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, so it says to measure thou the time diligently in itself. So what does that entail? Does that entail watching television as a whole, watching Coronation Street, watching EastEnders? No, how do you do such a thing? What do you do? Okay, you go on the YouTube or any form of avenue you can find, or you go on a newspaper and you go and see and you look for the incoming news, things that are alluding to prophecy. And you know, one of the main prophecies that we talk about is the incoming nuclear war. That's one of the main things that we do. The prophet already gave out, you know, things to look out for. And the Most High was working through these men to write these things down and to also speak these things into existence in their time, so that we can look back and read the scriptures and then bring it forth to these times and break these scriptures down, so that the people can understand and be awoken to what the hell is going on. And this is why we're commanded as the disciples back in the ancient world to go out and not in the streets. Okay? And what did Paul say in the book of Timothy? Paul said, we preach your word, we need instant, in season and out of season. And right now, as the look of things, we're in out of season. In this season, you can't really grow too much of anything. Alright, so it's out of season. In season is when the spring comes in. You have a little bit of heat, okay, and a little bit of coolness to it. That's the in season. We're out of season now. And when it gets too hot, that's even out of season. So while we're doing this particular thing, we're supposed to be bringing forth the gospel and telling our people about the word of prophecy. Alright? Yeah, we're going to rebuke our people. You know, we're going to curse people out and that kind of sort of thing. But the main thing is to edify. So read on.
Yeah.
But the main thing we deliver right now is prophecy. Go on.
It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest begin to visit the world which he made.
Exactly. So what are the signs? What are the signs that our Lord and Savior tell us? Yahweh Shah, what did he say? He said you're going to hear commotions, right? Give me that in Luke 21. And then he also spoke about the unusual things happening in the outer heavens. Like, for example, your blood moons, your micro moons, your blue moons. All of these different phenomena going on. So these are also signs alluding to the coming of our Lord. Okay, which would very well entail the end of this world, the end of this eon, the end of this age, and we are at the very well end of this age. Okay, and you know, we're the only men that know this. Most people don't know what we know, and we don't expect them to see what we're saying, because a lot of them have been blind or spiritually blinded to see what we're saying in the first place. This is only for the elect to understand, all right, and to gain aware. Go on. It's the book of Luke. You had some, yeah? No, read what you got. Read what if you have something, let it read that.
So yeah, it says, verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee.
Yeah, and that doesn't just include what Ezra was saying. He's really referring to the whole book, because the whole book is written of prophecy. All right, so when we read the words of prophecy, we have to understand and consider that these are the things that were already preordained to happen before the time even came. And this is why the prophets saw the last days that we're in right now in a holographic way. They saw what was going to happen in the end of this world. They saw it. Okay? Go on, brother.
It says, even from the beginning, it says, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end.
Right.
And the end is manifest.
Right. All have a start and have an end. And the end is manifest. And we're seeing the coming of the end. Everything's building up to the end. Okay, like you had this recent incident that happened where you had this guy in Australia. I mean, I don't know if he was an Asian provocateur. I don't know what was going on with this guy. But the guy went into the mosque with no fear, with no doubt. He went into that mosque and shot all of those Muslims inside the mosque. Okay, and I don't know if he was an angel sent to do such a thing to rile up the people, because he wants to rile up the people so that they can bring forth a new world order. Stir up the Muslims and stir up other people so that people can ultimately clash, which is going to get down to that anyway, because the Bible deals with how the people are going to rise up against other people, and also you're going to have a group of people that are going to rise up against their government. So it was already foretold and spoken that these things will come into effect, and we're in the times of these things coming into effect. Go on, brother. Yeah.
2nd Ezra 15 and 14 says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
So it says woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Why? Because calamities are going to come real soon. Go on.
It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
Right, it says for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And we have to be also aware that, destruction is coming. So if we're aware of this, that means that we as occupant truth, we have to make sure that we're in good standing in the eyes of the Lord. All right, any form of negardism you got within you, man, you gotta put that to the back. You gotta burn that bad boy. You gotta burn that negardism that you got within you, and renew your spirit and walk in the spirit of the Lord. Because the Most High gave us the blueprint on how to deal with brothers, and also how to deal with ourselves and how to live our lives. It's all in there. All we gotta do is walk according to the rule. Measure ourselves according to the standard. This is the standard of humanity. All right? That's what we got to do. And if we continue to do that and do diligence, then we'll be saved out of here. But if you want to do your own thing and be self-willed, self-presumptuously, then you're going to be destroyed, man. Right along with these individuals out there. So this is dead serious. This truth is real, man. Go on, brother. And certain guys are going to find out that this ain't no joke. Go on, bro.
It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Right, so that's another side. This is another vision that Ezra was seeing. And that's why he spoke about the visions he saw. Because these visions were to take place in these times. So what he saw was, he saw another group of people fighting against another group. And then he also saw people rise up against their government. And we're nearly that. We're nearly to that point. Because people right now, back in the day, people used to kind of support, their government and support their country. Now, there's a dividency within the people and the government. Go on, brother.
Luke 21:9. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. It's by and by.
Exactly. So it's like when you go to France, right? You have this team called the Yellow Vest, the group called the Yellow Vest, and right when you thought that they stopped burning and looting, hey man, they going forward with what they're doing, man. They're flipping over cars and everything, man. Destroying buildings in different areas that they're going into. Alright? And the French government don't really know what to do with it, man. So what's happening is gradually the Most High is raising the spirits of these people to literally rise up against their government. And when all hell breaks loose, when the economy stops completely, people are gonna go haywire. They're gonna really lose it this time. Okay? You know, you think it's calm and nice now. Hey, just wait until it really all comes to flood, man. Alright, it's like you got a lot of people that come here in England looking for a better life and trying to see the world and all of this other stuff of England. But when all hell breaks loose down here, they're gonna be looking to get out of here, man. They're gonna be looking to go back to where they came from. That's how bad it's gonna get down here, man. Go on, bro.
Right, second, still in Ezra's, chapter 15, starting at 1, it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy."
Right, it says to speak now in the ears of my people the word of prophecy. And that's exactly the main thing that we're supposed to do, is to build on prophecy. Okay, we could talk about the different biological weapons that Esau got set up in these different labs. Okay, we could talk about things like the CDC. That's which is based in Atlanta, Georgia, somewhere. I don't want it to fall away. You know, we could talk about within these lab centers, they're creating these diseases, and they're putting them aside in their cupboard somewhere, so they can use it for the opportune time to unleash on the people. Because it does say that in the scriptures that there's going to come a time of pestilence, right? Which pestilence is diseases. Go on.
Verse 2, "And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true."
Right, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. That's why we can read the Bible and see what's being said, because they were written by prophets, and you also had the scribes that wrote certain parts of what the prophets were speaking about. Okay, so that's it on that, brother. I want him to continue what he was reading on, because that's a long precept. That's a long chapter. Come on.
Luke chapter 21, verse 9. When you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass.
And mainly, where are we hearing these wars and commotions at? We're smack dab in the Middle East. We talk about Syria. We talk about what's going on in Iraq, that particular region. And the reason why there's war going on in that region is because you have the angels of war encamping around that area. And the angels of war are going to be responsible for the coming war. And these angels are going to manipulate the minds of the people to do exactly what the Father willed from the beginning. Remember, we just read in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, it says, the Lord spake of these things even from the beginning. So there's no such thing as free will. There's no such thing as you have a choice. No, there's no the choice is what you make. Your life is already, your life was already written before you was even thought of. Okay? So what's happening is every last one of us are playing a part in this story of this life. The man that is poor, begging for bread, all the way up to the powers that be that control all of the dreams of the planet. They're all under the hands of the Lord. And they're doing the Father's bidding, whether they recognize that or not. So there's no, we can change the world nonsense. It doesn't exist. What exists is what the will of the Father is. Keep on.
Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Right, and kingdoms against kingdoms. You're going to have countries against countries. You're going to have race wars as well, which will begin in the shores of the United States, which is known as Babylon the Great. And the reason why it's known as Babylon the Great, because it's Babylon again revisited, but it's even greater because of the technology, and I'm talking about the war power that they got. The amount of aircraft carriers that Donald Trump is in charge of, the amount of guns, the amount of defense mechanisms they got. That's what makes Babylon great, which is America. They're great in their weapons. Okay? And when you really check it out, who was blessed with the weapons of war? Esau is blessed with the weapons of war. So the more Esau has weapons, the more greater in strength he becomes. So America was set up by the Heavenly Father, right? He made it great, and guess what? He's going to bring it down. that being the case, his name is going to be well magnified. So go on.
And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places,
Yeah.
and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven.
Right, and great signs shall there be from heaven, as we always see different phenomenons as people like to say it is, because to them it's not a reality of what they see in the heavens, but to us it's a reality. It's not a phenomenon, it's just reality, you know. But going back to what I was saying, everything's following under the plans of the Lord, okay? And no man on this planet can change that. There's no changing of anything. Okay, if it's your lot to do what it is that you're doing now, it was already foretold. And so Most High, he's a man of his word. Let's get that in Numbers 24, brother. Numbers 24, you can read verse 19. 23 and 19 to be exact, I believe this. You know? Yes, so read that.
Numbers chapter 23 and 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither a son of man that he should repent.
Right, so the Lord is not going to take back his word. If the Most High spake these words by a prophet, okay, then that's going to be taking place. It may not take place when you want it to take place or when you expect it, but it will take place eventually. Okay? And it's going to prove that the Most High is not corrupt, like man is corrupt. Go on.
Hath he said, and shall he not do it?
Right, have he said, and shall he not do it? Go on.
Hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Right, have he spoken it, and shall he not make it good? So it's going to be made manifest and it's going to come into effect. So we can drop that now. We can go back to the prophecy.
Right, back in 2nd Esdras 15, verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
And the word incredulity means unbelief, because the Lord spoke by the prophet that there was going to come a time of people that's going to be not believing on what we're saying, but we're not to take heed to their incredulity, their unbelief of the truth. That was already written, that people was going to act in their unbelief according to the scriptures, or against the scriptures, excuse me. You know what I mean? You have all of these different Israelite groups out there. They're formulating new philosophies and doctrines now. And I'm not talking about the ones that's already set up. I'm talking about these other guys that's following, you know, the Hebrew Israelite custom, but they're taking away certain things from the truth. And the reason why they're doing that, like they like to say, well, the 12 tribe sign is wrong, it's off. That's incredulity. When you hear a Negro talk about how the 12 tribe sign is off, he's speaking in his state of incredulity, because he doesn't believe that the 12 tribe sign is right. He doesn't believe in the scripture, so he'll take one scripture and he'll apply the scripture, or should I say, you know, one set of scriptures, but then the other set of scriptures he won't deal with that, because you're gonna have men that's gonna fulfill their lot and play those that don't believe. And what's the end of the unbeliever? Give me that in Revelation 21. Because you're gonna have unbelieving jakes out there, man. I mean, it gets frustrating, man, when you see unbelieving niggards coming up against the word of the Lord, but it was already spoken that you're gonna have unbelievers that are gonna do niggard shit. Okay? And guess what? Their end is gonna be judgment. And let's read about their judgment. Go on.
Revelation 21 and 8. And it says this, but the fearful and the unbelieving,
Yeah, so it says, in the fearful and the unbelieving, go on,
and the abominable, and the murderers, and the whoremongers, and sorcerers, and
Yeah.
idolaters,
Yeah.
and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire,
Right.
and brimstone, which is the second death.
and that's going to be the judgment of those that are in a state of incredulity, those that don't believe. All right, their end is going to be to the lake of fire. What is that lake of fire? What instrument on this planet Earth is going to bring about the lake of fire? The nuclear missile. When we say it correct, the nuclear missile. So if you have a good, you know, 1,000 missiles hitting ground zero, as the scripture stated, that will happen. It's going to create exactly just that, the lake of fire. As John said, when you read the book of Revelation, he saw America as a lake of fire. All right? So it's going to happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have people that are gonna come in the midst. They're gonna teach the wrong thing, all right? Or they may teach the right thing for a while, but then later on pervert the gospel and insert something that's not in the scriptures, all right? Or take certain things out of the scriptures and pervert it, man. And it's really because they don't believe. They don't believe in Yahweh Baal Shem Shai. They don't believe in the Creator. Go on.
Matthew chapter 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing.
Right, a false prophet is an unbeliever. Because in order for you to be a prophet, first and foremost, you got to know the truth first. Now, if you know the truth and you're teaching against the truth, perverting the gospel, again, you would have to be part of that lake of fire. Because the unbelieving, the unbelieving within you led you to make that move to be a false prophet. And it was really because the Lord sent the lion, what is it, the lion spirit on that man. We can even get that in what is it, how the Lord, he's the father of spirits. And you got lion spirits out there, so if you don't believe in the truth, man, hey, the Most High can send a demon on you, possess your eyes, and have you out there thinking you right, but really you wrong, man.
Can I say,
Go on, bro.
how can you take the whole role and only take what you want out of the whole out of the role, man?
Right.
Like Ezekiel had to swallow the whole role, man. So the whole scriptures is all about the prophecies, man. So you can't take some of the prophecies. You can't take what you want out of it, man. Either you're gonna take the whole thing or you'll just die, man.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to die when the missiles come, man. Simple as that.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So that's going to be the end result. You take away from that which is of the scriptures, man, then your part is going to be taken out of the book of life, man.
Revelation.
Yeah. So that's the end all be all, man. So that's why we got to stay correct with these precepts and teach what's right, man.
Or said, a lot of these so-called Israelites, they don't even believe in the New Testament anyway. So they haven't even read that part. That's where the main prophecy is, man.
Yeah.
Revelation. How are you not going to believe that?
Come on.
You know, what's going to happen? What do you see, what you perceive in your belief is going to happen when a lot of them don't even believe in Yahweh Shai.
Of course. Of course.
So what do you believe?
Of course, yeah.
The Lord said this in Matthew 10 and 20. For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
But it's I, the Father, which speaketh in you. Am I correct?
Yeah, the Spirit of the Father.
The Spirit of the Father. What's going on, brother?
Brother, how are you?
Come on, man. So it's the Father that speaketh within us, man. So if we're teaching the right thing, man, and the Father's working with us, that means you gotta hearken to what we're saying, man. Like what we've been saying all along, the prophets, what is it, man? The words of the prophets were really the words of the Lord. The Lord was speaking right through them. So if we say something, man, that's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, man. let's read that again, brother. Let's revisit that.
Matthew chapter 10 and 20. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you.
Exactly, and that's why at times, man, we don't really have to always be prepared and come up with a topic. Hey, right now, man, I didn't really know what I wanted really to go into. But we speaking about something, man. The Spirit led us to speak about something. So that's the Father speaking within us. So if we get on the brother or we get on the guy or camp, whatever, you gotta just listen, man. It takes a righteous man of a sound mind to take heed of what we're saying. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be proven wrong and we're gonna be proven to be right.
Right.
Go on, bro.
Let me jump up to verse 7. And as you go, preach saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
And as we speak and as we go in the street, preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And that's what we preach, man. That's all that we bring about when we come out here. We preach about the end of this world, which means the kingdom any doggone way. All right? Once this kingdom comes down interchangeably, the kingdom is going to be erected. And that's what brothers think about all day, every day. All right? There's not a day that doesn't go past that we don't think about the future, man. Come around this side, brother. Come on, sit on there. You know what I mean? There's not a day that doesn't go past that we don't speak about the kingdom. So you got brothers, man, that's putting videos every day, putting hundreds of videos on YouTube every day, talking about how fucked up this world is, man. Right? You got brothers complaining and growling in their sleep, crying within their body. Spirits are crying, man. Okay, and I'm one of those. I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm one of those brothers that's crying inside, man. Because I want to see. I know that a change is gonna come, and I know how the change is gonna be to a certain degree. All right, and I want to see that blood on the earth. I'm sick and tired of walking around sick and all miserable all the time, man. You know what I mean? But we have to endure and also be patient too. But it's not wrong for us to hasten the day. The Scripture says to hasten the day. And that's what we're doing. Go on, bro.
Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely have received, freely give.
Right, freely have received and freely give. So we're freely giving you the word. We're not out here to take people's money to hear what you gotta say. All right, that's what them corrupt pastors is doing. Because they gotta like to live. They gotta live in their little mansions and what have you. Okay, that's what they're doing because they're living for the now. They're not living for the Lord. They're living to appease those that be of the world. Go on.
It says, 2 Ezra 15 and 4 says, "The unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness."
Where's that?
2 Ezra.
So you just said the same thing in Revelations. You said the same thing in Revelations. So it wasn't the same thing in Revelations. It says,
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
brother, what I'm saying, right? Let's say, okay, you know in the scriptures, right? It says if there be 2 or 3 witnesses, let it be true, right? There's 2 witnesses right there. So I'll tell you what you do, right? Read Revelations 21 again, and then you read that to me one more time.
Revelation chapter 21 verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone.
Now drop that, now read that again.
Right, 2 Ezra 15 and 4. For all the unfaithful shall die in their
So the
unfaithfulness.
scriptures is right, conjoined together from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Okay, and if you really believe in this truth, man, because you got brothers, man, that are out there, you got certain brothers that just can't get rebuked. They can't hold themselves together, man. They gotta keep getting reproved and corrected all the time. If you can't get yourself correct, man, and brothers gotta keep getting on you, then that just really means you don't believe. All right, if you can't stay in line, and what I mean by staying in line, I'm talking about staying in the spirit. You can't do that. Then there's no need for you to really be around the brotherhood, man. Because you're really showing that you don't believe. It's essential that you believe in this thing, and then your actions going to show that how much you believe by how much videos you put up, all right, and how you're standing and how you're walking in these last days. That's going to define and determine how much you really believe in Yahweh Shah, man. It's all in works, man. Matter of fact, brother, speaking about works, you know what to get me. Give me the book of John. I hope you know what I'm talking about. John chapter 2. Because this is essential, man. You're not gonna get into the kingdom just sitting on your ass. And it's just gonna be easy and it's gonna come to you. None comes to nobody. You have to get up and get whatever it is that you need to get. That's just life. You have the soul, you have the labor. You know, coming out here in this weather, man, this unseasonable weather, this is labor of love. We're doing the Lord's work in this season. We're out here in the midst of the street, making a fool of ourselves every week. Okay? And we don't mind doing this, man. Because the foolishness of the Most High is what? Wiser than men. So if we're making a fool out of ourselves wearing these robes and doing the Lord's work, come on, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what we're doing. We shouldn't be ashamed of a damn thing. Even if we look like we should be ashamed, we shouldn't be ashamed of a damn thing, man. Alright? It says to be not ashamed of the gospel. And we are not to be offended in Yahweh Shah. We're to stand still for the word of Yahweh Shah. That's what we do out here, man. These pages, yeah, take your time, it's all right. You know?
First one.
I think it's First John 2, yeah. Yeah, we really got brother Corrupt yourself.
Well, don't get off the subject because I'm still in Ezra's in it, so I guess
Okay. So that's all it takes, man. I mean, all of you brothers out there that's out doing the work, man, and you in order with certain brothers in the camp, man, stay in order, man. Don't be going off and doing what you want to do and letting Satan get the best of you. Because you gotta fight the flesh. We have to fight the flesh every day.
See the
Like what was going on with Paul. Paul was fighting the flesh. So we gotta do the same thing and overcome. Go on, brother.
1 John chapter 2, verse 7. Brethren, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment which ye had from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which ye have heard from the beginning. And again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you. Because the darkness is past, and the true light now shineth.
Right, and the true light now shineth. So darkness is past. What does it mean that the darkness is past to us? Meaning we've withdrawn the ways of this world. Alright, this whole entire system is darkness. People don't even know who they are anymore. People don't even know what's going on around them anymore. People are so oblivious to reality. So, in the spiritual case, this is darkness right here. We were once a part of that world. Now we're in a new world. We're in a world of light. We're in a world of reality where all is possible. All is possible with the Most High Yahweh. That's the world we live in, brothers. Okay, go ahead.
He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother.
And that's another thing too, because you got certain guys that are holding grudges and shit, man. You can't be holding no grudge. And then to the point, at least you hating the brother. If you got an issue with a brother, you talk to that brother by himself. And if a brother say he forgive you, forgive the brother, man. Don't hold that negative energy in your heart, man. You're supposed to forsake that negative energy and move the fuck on, man. Excuse my language. I don't mean to cuss, man. I'm just trying to hold myself. I mean, I know I can say certain things I don't need to say, but what did Paul say? Paul said, though I be rude in speech, but not in knowledge. So as long as I'm not going up with the knowledge, it's all good. But I'm just speaking with passion right now. We're supposed to be suited in his word, man. Let's read this again so I can recap my train of thought.
Verse 9, he that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now.
Exactly, man. So you can't be hating on no brother this thing. Alright, if a brother did you wrong and he told you to the side and he said, look, man, I'm sorry, you gotta forgive that brother, man. Alright? Now if a guy's going off consistently and he's just going overboard, then we have to deal with it differently now. Okay, but I'm just saying, if someone's doing you wrong, you gotta let it go, man. You gotta let it go, because if you hold this negative energy within you, that shit is gonna come out. It's gonna come out, man, and it's gonna bite you in the ass. Like it says in the scriptures. The scripture says, the Lord's judgment is as a ring. So whatever you dish out is gonna come right around and get you. Go on, brother. You have something to say, right?
2 Corinthians 5:17 says, therefore, if any man be in your house shy, Hamashiach, he is a new creature. All things are passed away.
Oh, it says all things are passed away.
Behold, all things are become new.
All things have become new. So when we come into this faith, all of that niggerism that we were doing in the world, whatever you want to call it, right? The things that involve black culture that we can't fuse with the truth, we put that away. And we become Israelites, man. We're no longer blacks, we're no longer West Indians, Jamaicans, or hip-hopians, or whatever you want to call it, man. We're Israelites now. So if we're Israelites, that means we have to change the way we think and change the way that we do things overall. And we have to be more positive-minded, man. We have to think righteously. We have to think God-minded, man. And when we meet the brothers, man, you know, we cool. It's beautiful when we come together. There's no negative energy. There's no negative vibes, man. And if there's a guy in the camp that has some kind of negative vibe towards another guy, and he don't take care of that quick fast, hey, what does the scripture says? If your left eye offended you, pluck it out, man.